Hello everyone, so in this video I will show you how to calculate holding period return given the stock price we have. So what the data we have is that we have the stock price for Yahoo, Microsoft and S&P 500 over time from uh, what from the beginning of 2010 to the October 20th, 2014. So first of all, I want to calculate, I want to create two new column, one for year and another is for month. So the function we use, very easy to remember. Year, we use a function year of the date. So we click on the cell date, close the parentheses, okay, year 2014. Month, we use function month, open the parentheses, click on the date cell, and it gives us associated month. So over here, select it, double click. That's it. Okay. Now, what we are going to do is, okay, we are done with. What we are going to do is to calculate the daily return and daily risk, and then we do the 5-day holding return and risk. So first of all, when you have to calculate return, okay, remember what is the formula for that. You can check in the investment or corporate finance. The formula for return or holding return equal to the ending value divided by starting value minus 1. So over here we calculate the 1-day return. We calculate 1-day return for Yahoo. So how can we do it? Okay. Look at the timeline. The 1-day return ending October 20th equal to the ending value 39.28 divided by starting value. What is starting value? It means the day before, right? So divide by 38.45 and minus 1. So over here equal to 39 divided by 38 minus 1. So it is 2.16%. Okay, you can change the format number whatever way you want. Okay, and then what we do next, how and drag it. So we have the 1-day return for Microsoft, 1-day return for S&P 500. Double click, yes, you see that, right? It is S&P 500. Then what we do next, we select all and double click, how and drag, yep, all the way to the end. Yep. Why this error show up here? Double click on it. Okay, double click on S&P, you see that it is the beginning of the period, so we don't have anything to compare. That is why it divided by blank here and it turned into a error code, so simply delete it. Now the average return we calculate the average daily return for Yahoo over the course of almost 4 years, right? 2010 to 2014. So equal to average. To select it all, how and drag it all the way to the beginning, excluding the very first one. Close the parentheses, how and drag. Yep, here is the average daily return. So you can see that Yahoo average return for a day is 0.09, for Microsoft 0.05, and S&P 0.05. So you can increase it for a few number after the decimal place. Now the risk, we always have to pay attention to risk and return, right? How to calculate the risk? What is the function for risk? You still remember that it is the total risk is a standard deviation of that series of return. So here we do the standard deviation. We use the standard deviation based on a sample. In some other version of Excel, it is std.s. S stands for sample. Okay, so let me zoom it up. stdev. Yep, here is the sample. So we select the whole series, and drag it all the way up. Over here, I got it. Close the parentheses, hit enter. Here we go. That's it. So You see that for Yahoo, return is 0.88%, risk is 1.83%. Okay, now for Microsoft, return is 0.049%, risk is 1.4%, and similarly we have the risk and return for S&P 500. Now, even though you see that, I mean, if you look at Yahoo versus the other two, look like a higher return associated with higher risk, right? 88 and 1.9, 49, 1.4, 48, 1.02. However, for the case of Microsoft versus S&P during that window, I mean, the rule of risk and return doesn't look like it applies, at least in terms of what we are doing here. Okay. Then, okay, the next question for us is to calculate the, say, 5-day return. So how we can get the 5-day return? So look at the date in here. We see there are a few ways to figure it out. You can see that for 1-day return we have to use 2 cells, right? Therefore you can think about, okay, if I have to use 3-day return, 2-day return, how many cells I use? I have to use 3 cells. So if I use 3-day return, how many cells I have to use? I have to use 4. So of course, if it is 6-day, 5-day return, I have to use 6 cells. Yep. So let me hide that one. Okay. So for Yahoo 5-day, the ending value is 39.28 divided by the starting value of 38.38 minus 1. Hold and drag one way, double click the other way. So you see that here the S&P 500, I double click to check if the data is correct. I see, okay, it is on the cell S&P and the date is correct. So everything seems to be good. Now go all the way down here. These last 5 beginning date doesn't have enough data to calculate the return. Okay, we delete it. Now we calculate the average as usual. Average now by now, I mean, you all know about how to do the hold and drag, right? So I don't have to show it carefully for you. STD, the standard deviation sample. Okay. Yep, yeah. Here we go. Here's the risk and return for what? Average 5-day holding period. So you see in here, if you compare between 1-day holding versus 5-day holding, thing is quite clear in terms of risk and return. You know, over here for say Yahoo, 1 day is 0.88%, risk is 1.9. Now 5-day return is 0.4, about 5 times, right? And risk is more than double, 4.2. I mean, yes. And also look at the Microsoft return for 1 day is 0.49. No, actually the return is 0.049. Risk is 1.4. For 5-day, return is about 5 times more, and risk is about like 2 times more. So anyway, you can see that the higher risk, higher return. Okay. Now finally, we have to. I mean, as a financial analyst, you may have. I focus on the 2 questions. The first one is, okay, the first question is, suppose it's right here. Okay, reporting in general, how does each stock perform? So in general, over that whole 4 years, how does each stock perform? So depends on the windows you want to show people. So you may say, okay, over here I have the average return, average daily return for each stocks and the risk. So this one by itself is a table show you the performance of a stocks. Performance here including both risk and return for the window we interested, which is 1 day. Or if people want to know like 5-day or weekly return average, you can show this set. Okay, here's a weekly average associated with the standard deviation or the risk for that period, right? Okay. Another question could be like, I skip the second one, I move to the third one. Okay. People may say, ask you, okay, I know it is the average risk and return in general for each stock. So, but I really want to look deep into detail. How about tell me how does each stock perform each year? Okay, so it means that each year you have to give people that average together with one row for return, right? So you can say, okay, here, so for the year 2000, the return is that much, risk is that much, and then in the year 2011 for Yahoo, here's the risk, here's the return. Now, how can we do it? So if you are very welcome to calculate the average return year by year. I mean, it is how we started, right? We can over here we start calculate the return for the whole period. So now you have to calculate return year by year. How to do it? Very simple. But of course it's lengthy, right? So you identify, okay, say here the year 2014. Yep, here the year 2014, that data, right? And then you calculate the average for Yahoo over that shaded area, get the standard deviation, do the same thing. Okay, it won't take a lot of time. Now, is there any better way than that? Yes, but we have to think and we have to learn some kind of few technique, right? But fortunately, we know that it is a pivot table. Okay, let's do it. Leave your cursor in the body of the table. Click Insert Pivot Table. Now see over here, Excel select the two last row which we don't want, right? So you have to manually select what you want, excluding that summary, average, and risk. Yeah. Yes, here's what we want. So sometimes we have to manually use that. We have to manually do it. So existing worksheet. Okay, I put it here. Yep. Let me double check. I delete that one. Okay, now let's see. How can we report things over time? So what I vision is that we have a table and it shows you row year by year or column year by year. So I prefer to look at okay, column year by year. Okay. Now then we have to calculate average return for Yahoo. So here, let's throw it here. What we have is count for Yahoo. We need the average. So here, put it into percent. Okay. So average return for Yahoo for the year 2010 is that much. 11 is that much. 12 is that much. 13, 14, and grand total. It means for the whole period, it is 0.088. Do you see that familiar somehow? Yes. It is right here. Right? It is. Yep. That's it. Okay. Now, you can stack return together. It means after below the S Yahoo, you put Microsoft. Okay. Sorry, what I'm doing. I think I'm doing something. I drop it in the wrong place. So let me I put it Yahoo here. Yeah, sometimes it happens. So up here. Now for Microsoft, I select Microsoft and throw it into okay. So you know what? I hope that I can make it, but it doesn't work. It works in the sense that here's year 2010. So you have 2010 number for Yahoo, 2010 number for Microsoft, but you see it is kind of, I mean, your table will getting larger and larger easily, right? So what I want to do is, okay, I turn it into column. I put I mean year into row, so we have that one for year. Here the Yahoo. Now Microsoft, I put it here. So that setting seems to be easier for us to read, right? Yep. Here the 2000 for Yahoo. Here's the 2000 for Microsoft. Yep. And you can add the average for S&P. Okay. However, I want to show you in the next step is to do the risk or the standard deviation. How can we do it? Okay, we can select Yahoo and throw into the value here. We have another column. Now this column, what you do is you don't want count, you don't want average, but you want the so-called standard deviation. Yep, here we go. Standard deviation. Yep, so you see you can stack Yahoo together, but you can split it. I mean, you can stack return, and standard deviation, Now what we can read from this table is that for year 2010, average daily return for Yahoo is that much, and the standard deviation or the risk is that much. And for the whole period, average return is 88 here, and the standard deviation is 1.913. Yep. Do we find it? Do we got it before 1.913? It is right here, right? Okay. So this table, of course, you can easily put Microsoft in, and then instead of count, we want standard deviation. Yep. So you know what, sometimes you don't like the name already given, and maybe most of the time we have to work more with the table provided by provided by the pivot table. So I simply select everything, I can copy it, I can throw in a different sheet like that. Yep. And now I can do whatever I want. Yep. Here's but of course you have to remember that here's the return for Yahoo, return for Microsoft, risk for Yahoo, risk for Microsoft, and yes, you can make a nice table the way you want. Okay, so it is enough for today. Thank you.